In other words, the incessant giving off of spirit essence by the souls of men becoming discarnate, and the prodigious accumulation of spiritual forces a necessary result of human dissolution, is wasted. Think of it. Think of what it means. On the one hand we have knowledge of the ceaseless energy of the productive principle always operating, always constructing, eternally evolving and ever energizing, and, on the other, the antithesis of it all in the waste, or, at the most, in the non-utilization of that stupendous spiritual power forever being given off by the process of discarnation. This unspeakable force, being accumulative, necessarily assumes, during the immeasurable period covered by the birth of the human race and this day of judgment, proportions of which the finite mind of man cannot conceive, and yet, in that inconsequent manner which characterises him, he foolishly consigns these potent, awe-inspiring forces, this wonder-working part of God's own indestructible essence, to senseless oblivion or prodigal waste. A little common sense here would do no harm to those who have formed so imperfect a conception of God's purpose towards mankind. Here is a reasonable solution of this problem, or rather of this vast error, which has done incalculable harm by inducing a false conception of God's purpose. Life, whether on the earth plane or the spiritual planes beyond, is one continued pilgrimage, the soul forces ever unfolding, the spiritual nature ever developing, and the real ego of man ever soaring onwards and upwards towards the infinite. But, whether in its incarnate or discarnate condition, this ego is answerable here, or in the stage of existence which, for purposes of illustration, may be termed the hereafter, for deeds done in the flesh. In these two phases of the soul's state must expiation be made and full compensation rendered for every sin of omission or commission while in the carnal condition.